up guys, it's Austin here from Royal Highness Pythons, and in today's video I have a little bit of a clutch update on that last Dreamsicle clutch, and something weird is going on in the clutch. I'll just show you guys that. You might not notice it at first, but if you compare it to a normal Dreamsicle, you'll definitely see a difference. Maybe you can look up a normal Dreamsicle after and then compare it to the ones I have, maybe see some differences. But also I'm going to teach you guys how to pop or sex your snakes. So to tell if it's a male or a female. I learned this a couple of years ago and it's helped me a lot, so hopefully it can help you guys. So let's get right into that. So right here's the clutch. I just gave them a little bath. They're all really crazy looking. This is one of my favorites. But I believe there's something else going on in the clutch. They look a little weird. When I say weird, the pattern's a little off from a normal Dreamsicle. It's a little different. And these two lavenders actually look really different. So if you look at this one, it has some flaming on the sides, not too much. Looks like your typical lavender. But then if I put this one next to it, at first you might not see it. The pattern's a little more wackier. But let me put this one down. Well, you see the whites are even a little different too. When I pull up this guy from the side, he has really high orange blushing going down both sides. He also has a little bit of a weird wacky pattern with a lot of hooks coming down and a lot of banding. Almost looks like a yellow belly. It's possible that yellow belly is in here. Jesse Wilson was working a lot with yellow belly into his Dreamsicle project, and this came from one of his yellow belly Dreamsicle projects, the male. And I was skeptical at first, but he does look a little weird for just a lavender. If you give me a second, I'll go and grab him. He's just off food right now. He's been breeding a ton. He has a really weird pattern. He's a little more lavender than most. He has really nice yellow flaming coming up the sides, on both sides, and it's a little weird. I thought it was just maybe the het pied, but I have some other lavender het pieds that look nothing like this, and I'll actually compare them. So here's my lavender het pied girl. It's a little bit of urate in the back, but if you put them next to each other, he's a lot softer. His pattern's a lot different, bands over and does those little hooking stuff like the baby does. So I think something is definitely going on here. Could be yellow belly. Best thing to do is hold them back and reproduce it yourself. But looking at this boy right here actually, he has all these really jagged edges to him, really orange pattern compared to some of the other Dreamsicles I've hatched in the past. So I'm banking on there being another gene in here. Both of them seem to have it, but when you look at these two over here, you can definitely tell there's something else going on. Might not be too apparent to the naked eye, but when you take a closer look, the whites are a little different, the pattern's just a little bit different, but if I were to take the albino out, it'll be a lot more easier to tell. So let's get into the next part of the video. So for the second part of this video, I'm going to be showing you how to sex your snake, or your ball python in this case. So right here I have my male pastel asphalt possible vanilla 100% het clown, and I produced him last year, and he has a sister, so sometimes you can get them confused because they're identical. So the best way to tell is knowing how to sex your snake. So if you go and grab your snake like so, taking like the first half of the snake and putting it under your forearm so it's easier to control the snake, and then your second hand on maybe the last quarter of the snake, and then you're just flipping him over like this, or him or her. So you're gonna take your hand and form like this motion, like almost a thumbs up, but you're gonna go like a trigger finger almost, and you're just gonna stick that right underneath the vent, maybe underneath the vent and a hair back, so about half an inch, a quarter inch. Wait, the snake just got out. So we go here and we apply a little bit of pressure, and with that pressure we're making a pocket, and you can already see without putting anything, just bending back a bit, the vents are already exposed. So all I'm gonna do now is press a little bit of pressure around this area. There's a little air pocket you can feel, and the hemipenes are revealed. And I'm not putting a lot of pressure. I'm about squeezing as much as you would need to squeeze to put a little bit of a dent in a pop can, not to crush it. You can even do it sometimes without the bottom finger, but it takes a little bit more work. It's kind of a roll. But if you use that bottom finger just right underneath the vent, it really helps. So I'm gonna go grab a female right now, and I'll show you what it looks like on a female. So right here is his sister, who's also a pastel, asphalt, possible vanilla, 100% het clown. But she is a female, obviously. So I'm gonna do that again. Take the first half of the snake, place it under my arm for more control, wrap her around, and then just grab a nice grip on the last quarter of her. So like so. I'm gonna take her. It's actually easier if you move your grip up a little bit towards the vent. And right now the snake is just getting caught up in the camera. So let's get that out. And you're gonna do the same thing. Finger behind the vent. Slightly pull the tail back, look for that pocket. And this is all that will happen if it is a female. You can see the two little scent glands popping out a bit. But there's no hemipenes. As much as I would try, there's gonna be no hemipenes. But if I were to do this enough times, you can get those scent glands really red and filled with blood because all the pumping you're doing. They kind of are already, you can kind of see it. As they're swelling down, they're turning a little red. Some people mistaken that for hemipenes and sell a female as a male. So you might want to watch out for that. So if you do it too many times, put the snake back for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, come back and try again. But just a little bit of force, no hemipenes come out. It's definitely a female. So I'm just gonna show you again on a different male. Here's that same male from earlier, from the lavender clutch that I suspect is yellow belly. If you look at all that flaming on both sides. Even has it on the belly, checkered down a bit. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, especially right around here. But yeah, definitely a nice male. He's not breeding right now because he's not eating, trying to get him back on food, but he can still help us with this little video. So once again, I'm gonna turn him upside down. But for bigger males, I like to hold them like this, make a little pretzel almost. It's not gonna hurt them, it just gives you a little bit more control. And then if they're bothering you with their head, just once again, put it under your forearm. So once again, put my finger right underneath the vent and just press a little bit, and there's one hemipene, there's the other one. And you notice the vents are still there right next to the hemipene. I don't know if you could tell, there's a little vent and then the hemipene right after. So that's the difference between a male and a female, and it looks easier than it is done. It took me about 6 months to master this. I learned it from Billy at Mutation Creation, and the first time he showed me I was amazed because I always used to try to go and push all different sorts of ways, roll, and I wasn't having too much success. It looked like more I was hurting the snake, but no snakes were hurt, trust me on that. But definitely a cool way to pop. Sorry guys, the camera cut out. Not quite sure when it happened though, but definitely a cool way to pop. You guys can definitely learn it. It might take you some time. It took me a very long time, and yeah, so practice, practice, practice. But remember, if it is a female and you're trying to like figure out what a female looks like, don't do it too much, just because you can get those scent glands filled with blood, making them look like hemipenes, and you can get confused from that. So take your time, a little bit each day, maybe each week, and you'll get it within a month or two. So keep practicing. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends if you haven't already. So see you soon. Peace out.